Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hello, hello. Thank you for your understanding of my flexible start time. This is going to be a group energy healing where I heal 130 people in 10 different countries, and there will be lots of overall, sorry about the lopsided camera there. There will be lots of very thorough general healing, like on chakras, grounding, auras, all that good stuff. But then we will also do a lot of work on the theme. And it's sort of a two-part theme, home energy clearing, but it's energy clearing for your home, your physical, literal home, but also healing for you. Because since you set the energy of your home, if we only clear out your home, you could muck it up really quickly after that. So we need to help you. We need to help you transform from within, so that you are safer energetically, you are more, focused and clear, so that your home stays more energetically safe, focused, and clear. So it's a twofold theme there. And the thing is, you may be living with other people that are not getting this healing. So there's that aspect too, that we need to hopefully ask the angels to get those other people in your home specific healings so that they don't muck up the energy of the home really fast after it's cleared and healed. So kind of a three-part healing, I guess. Healing your home, literally your home, clearing it out, healing it, nourishing it, the energy of it, like the property, the building, all the places in the building. But then healing you and healing the other people in the home. But I won't be actually healing them, but we'll go through some steps so that the angels, so it's more likely that the angels heal them in specific ways. So that's that. Oh, thanks. I got confirmations. I can see and hear you. Thanks so much. Sending all love. So happy to be here and excited for today's guided healing. Well, you're very welcome. Alrighty. And so just a literal thing for people that aren't aware, I will literally be healing 130 people that specifically paid me for this healing. A lot of them have auto-pay subscriptions, so they don't have to buy at a certain time. It just comes out because they get regular healings from me. But then roughly a quarter of the people bought the healing on the 15th a month and a half ago, roughly 2 months ago. So you, the listener, if you've never gotten healings from me, you can purchase them on the 15th of a given month for like a month and a half ahead. So in other words, October 15th, that's when the December healings will go up on my payment page, and they sell out within, it really depends, but within an hour these days. So, if you're there, you're ready for it, you can purchase a healing. And more information on that is on my website, janetwrightreadings.com. So I have a very light preview, other than what I've already previewed about how we're going about what we're going to do. The only other two things that I would mention is the Wei Chi auras. I think will have extra significance in this healing. This set of two healings actually that we're doing today, Sunday, and then this coming Tuesday. The Wei Chi auras, you have 17 auras, and two of them are I call your regular auras. One is your astral body aura, and one is your physical body aura. But then you have 15 extra auras, you as a spirit, and those are called your Wei Chi auras. WEI space CHI is how I spell that. So I just typed out Wei Chi auras, 15 of them help with strong boundaries. So since they help with strong boundaries, they are especially important also for this home energy clearing. That's the part that we're going to strengthen and repair extra and unblock extra, so that, like we said, you don't just muck up your living space soon after we clear it out. If you're safe, you're really present, then there's not, like, say, an overwhelming energy that's just going to sweep through you into your home again really fast. So the Wei-Qi ores will be extra important for these two healings. And that's the level of healing that we will ask the angels to give your housemates, the other people that live in your house with you, if there are any. I mean, the angels, I'm sure, have already tried to do that, but will help your housemates to be more open to such assistance from the angels. Anyway, so that's Wei-Qi auras. And then the other thing, we have done before unmatched global pain, which I use the acronym UGP, unmatched global pain. So I'll just type that out, UGP. UGP, unmatched global pain. So then we'll do that in this one. It makes you a lot more comfortable, bottom line. It's like a specific level of unblocking that you do to sort of make it much less likely that you're feeling everybody else's pain, basically. But we're gonna also do a new one in a way. I mean, we've sort of danced around this and done it in many different ways, but I think it'll work well here. UFP, unmatched family pain. So there'll be we'll do specific unblocking so that you unmatch a lot of the ways that your family members are blocked. And I think that will specifically help how you set the energy of your home as well, and just make you feel better. So that's, I'll write that out. Unmatched family pain, UFP. Okay, cool. And that is too extra relevant. I mean, it depends on your culture, but in the US, there tends to be like sort of winter holidays, winter get-togethers, even if people don't have like a, like a Christian heritage. It's just so much in the States of like get together with family members, during winter, fall and winter. And that may be true in other cultures. It may be other times of year when, maybe a different time of year when there's more family get-togethers. But anyway, if in the US, there's a lot of family get-togethers in the next like 4 months. So, and if you're not getting together with them, maybe they're like still sort of thinking of you, maybe thinking you should be getting together with them or whatever. So unmatched family pain is going to be a nice little simple way, I think, that'll be good to help with boundaries with family members, whether or not they live with you in your home. So yeah, that's it. And some of the techniques of the home, clearing the home, are kind of obvious. They're ones that we also use for ourselves. But I think I'm just going to be kind of spontaneous in these two healings, and the angels will show me a specific person and what do they need, and then that's what they're saying everybody needs. So we'll see how it goes and what techniques are used. But hopefully it will help you also, like, how you are within your home. Like, how do you feel within your home? How do you feel about your home? Do you take care of your home? There's so much there. So we'll see how much of it we end up doing, but it should be very interesting. And also, just a heads up, that first survey, the post-healing survey, after this healing will be helpful, and possibly helpful for you as well, because there'll be, a custom question in there about, what are your issues with home energy clearing. So it's a chance for you to speak up about what you think about the topic and what you might be needing as far as home energy clearing. Which is important to do after the first with the first survey and not the second survey, because the second survey the set's over. So speak up on this post healing survey for today's healing, which ideally you would fill out tomorrow. Okay, thank you. All right, and those post healing surveys go to people that I'm actually healing. If you're just watching and there's a particular topic about home energy clearing that's important to you, you could post it under the video when the live stream's done, or post it at the end of the live stream if you want to make your thoughts known. Okay, cool. So now, I got more hellos. Hello, we can see and hear you. Hello from sunny Arizona. Good morning from Evergreen, Colorado. Sunny and 67 degrees. That's a little cool. I seem to have a resistance to energetically clearing my home, so I'm so glad for this topic. Oh, good. Hello from cool and sunny Portland, Oregon. Thank you for the healing today. I'm looking forward to it. You're welcome. Hi, Jenna. I'm so excited about this theme. I'm getting keys to my new home tomorrow. It's perfect timing for this healing. Yes. Hi from cloudy Ottawa, Canada. Well, hello. Yes, it is sunny at the moment here and cool. So we haven't yet got our rains, and somebody had a house fire a couple blocks away, but fortunately our fire department is really good. So that's nice, because everything is so dry here that fires are quite dangerous, but it all worked out. Well, not for the homeowners, but those particular homeowners. But anyway, at least the fire did not spread, so that's a good thing. Hello, getting a healing, so excited. Hello from New Jersey. Yes, hello. Hello from rainy Santa Cruz area, not in my home though. Rainy Santa Cruz, California. Hello from rainy northern Sweden. Hello. 10 degrees Celsius, which is, I have to look that up. 10 degrees Celsius is 50 degrees Fahrenheit. So yeah, that is pretty chilly for this time of year, I guess. Yeah, we're probably more like 65 degrees Fahrenheit at the moment. I think we're going to go up to 75 today. So that's maybe like 18 or 19 degrees centigrade right now, going up to about 24 or 25 degrees Celsius. So can't complain, pretty good. All right, good. Thank you for your hellos. That's fun. Okay, so now we'll have a quiet time just for about 3 minutes as I finish my prep and say hello telepathically to the people that I will be healing. And then the last minute of that quiet, I'll be starting the healing. You'll see me moving my hands, so you know I've started the healing. And then for the rest of the time, I'll be talking out loud, explaining what I'm doing as I heal. So it's an all levels walkthrough if you wish to heal yourself as you listen. Okay, cool. I will be quiet now for about 3 minutes. All right, thank you for waiting. So when you heal, you can make a copy out in front of you of what you're healing with your intention or your thought. So you imagine or create with your thought a copy of your energy system out in front of you, and you use gold light from your hands to heal the copy of yourself, therefore healing yourself. You have hand chakras, big round hand chakras, one in each palm of each hand. You also have fingertip chakras, one in each fingertip. And all chakras have round openings. So you can just imagine setting that round opening to a metallic gold color, or set the whole chakra to a metallic gold color. And therefore the energy that the chakra generates as it spins naturally would be a metallic gold color. Even if you can't see, you just do it with your thoughts, set it to gold. So then you use that gold light from your hands to repair, to unblock, to heal this copy of yourself. So first we're going to do grounding, and we're also going to do, at the same time, sort of mix with it, a lot of sticky gold net clearing of your everything. So all the auras, your physical body, your astral body, and your groundings. But we'll also alternate between doing that, the sticky gold net work collapsing gold nets work to get rid of all the junk. So some invasive beings, some people, random energy blocks you want to get rid of. But we'll keep on blocking the grounding. We'll make nice wide grounding as well. So it'll be a sort of a combo. Grounding plus collapsing gold nets. For you, grounding plus including everything, actually. Sticky gold nets for everything. So grounding plus sticky gold nets for everything is what we're going to do right now. Okay, cool. So you just imagine your everything, your grounding, you have two groundings, actually, physical body, astral body, both those groundings, and your physical body, your astral body, then you have all your auras, 17 auras. And so let's just do collapsing gold nets a few times first. So you make these giant gold nets that are like way above you, all around you, all the way down to the core of the earth, and you collapse them in. Don't heal your home yet, just yourself, right? Okay, so you collapse the gold nets in and have the gold nets catch up anything that's not you in your space that you need to get rid of, and then just drag that out in the gold nets and give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. Okay, we're gonna do that like maybe 2 more times, and then we'll do grounding work. Okay, so more collapsing gold nets, big collapsing gold nets all around you, collapse them in. Give them to your angels. Angels, here you go. Big collapsing gold nets all around you. Collapse those in. Drag out all the junk in the nets. Give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. So we'll do more of that later, but let's ground. I will do more of that very soon, actually. So ground. Now, you don't have to stick your arms out like that. When I watch later, I'm like, yeah, every time I say ground, I stick my arms out. It's supposed to be me showing how wide you're grounding. Ideally, you'd make it that wide, as wide as the heel of the palm of your hand if you stretch out your arms. That's what I mean to show by always putting out my arms when I say grounding. So make your grounding that wide all around and have it stay wide all the way down to the core of the earth. And make your grounding red or orange or yellow. That's the color range I would suggest, somewhere in there, red or orange or yellow. Because that's the least triggering for your lower chakras, therefore it helps you to be as present as possible. So red or orange or yellow grounding, nice and wide, and bring up your grounding nice and high as your third chakra, rather than as, only down at your first chakra. Bring your grounding up high, because you want to support all of these chakras, 3, 2, 1, make them release as much as you can so that you can be as present as you can be. Right? So nice high, wide grounding, and then you can make a copy of that grounding out in front of you and comb through it with gold light. And just compare different parts of your grounding, you know, front, back, sides, you know, left corner, back left, front, back left, back right, you know, whatever. Just compare parts and see which flows better, which flows worse, and then the parts that flow worse, just work on them and melt away the energy blocks in that part of your grounding so that the whole thing flows really, really, really well, like a waterfall, a very strong, wide waterfall. Just find energy blocks, saturate them in gold light so that they melt. All right, so that's grounding and grounding on blocking. Let's do more collapsing gold nets and then we'll do more grounding. So imagine your everything, all your auras, your physical body, astral body, both your groundings, and do collapsing gold nets, giant ones, you know, maybe like 20 feet above you, 30 feet above you, all around. Just stay here to do it though. Just make really big, like a cube of collapsing gold nets all the way down to the core of the earth and collapse them in and have them tangle up anything that's not you and drag them off in the net. Angels, here you go. A couple deep breaths just to adjust to that. Breathe into all your major joints in your body. Ankles, knees, hips, shoulders, your head, your toes, your fingers. Okay, a couple more collapsing gold nets. Big cube of gold nets. Collapse it in, get rid of anything that's not you. Into the gold nets, drag it out. Angels, here you go. You do have angels, even if you're not really clear on how many or whatever. You have angels. When you say angels, they can hear you. You just say it with your mind. So collapsing gold nets, big ones all the way down to the core of the earth, collapse them in to tangle up anything that's not you, people, invasive beings, whatever. Drag all that out. Angels, here you go. So just notice if there's any difference in your grounding that you can tell now after having done more collapsing gold nets. If you weren't grounded at all, then it would be better just to start with grounding. But if you're sort of like half grounded, you can do collapsing gold nets first, just for a little, you know, go back and forth like we did. Okay, then indie grounding. Indie grounding. That's where you check the outer surface of your grounding as it goes all the way down, and you make sure there's not like a bunch of junk branching off to other people's grounding, or really too, you know, you can have hard objects stuck in the outer perimeter of your grounding, which then weakens the boundary of your grounding too, so you can do that. Melt those away at the same time as you're melting away connections to other people's groundings. Just melt away any hard objects stuck in this outer surface of your grounding. So that's indie grounding. Also, let's look at invasive beings that maybe moved out while you were doing that clearing, and so they didn't get cleared out. So maybe they moved out of your aura, they moved out of your grounding, but they still exist. So here's you. Here are the invasive beings that moved out, just like temporarily, like, ooh, we don't want to be around that. But they still exist, and they'll probably want to come back, right? So there's you, there's the invasive beings that left temporarily but want to come back. And just say, angels, can you recycle all these invasive beings? Okay, again, here's you, just, simple representation. Here's all the invasive beings that left but temporarily. And say, angels, can you recycle these invasive beings? So that's a nice thing to do. And that's something you could check regularly. Because maybe when you're meditating, eventually you get so nice and clear, but then especially if you find that your clarity and how you feel after meditating doesn't last very long at all, that could be a bigger issue for you, although it's always nice to check, I think. If there are invasive beings that just temporarily leave while you're meditating and clearing, then, they want to come back, of course. So get those recycled. And again, you are way bigger than any of these invasive beings playing head games with you. You're way bigger, way more powerful. So just to put that into context, so that we're not, needlessly triggering fear. Okay, good job. So we did grounding and collapsing gold nets for your everything. We did indie grounding, and we also recycled invasive beings that were mildly clever enough to leave temporarily. We got those guys recycled. All right, so now let's do aura repair of your 17 auras. And I had said already in the intro, the Wei Qi aura repair, which is 15 of those 17 auras, that's especially important for this theme of home energy clearing. Because if you don't have, when you have very, very strong boundaries, then it's very hard for, invasive beings to come through you into your home. If you're managing your home, you're really sort of large and in charge in your own space, then you can maintain a pretty safe home, and regularly clearing it out wouldn't be such a big deal. If you have a lot of sort of holes and gashes in your Wei Qi auras, which are for strong boundaries, then it's much easier for the invasive beings to affect you, and also to kind of come through you and just, degrade the energy of your home. So we don't want that, right? So let's do aura repair of all your 17 auras, okay? So just imagine a copy of all your auras out in front of you, all 17. If you're reasonably present, which you are after doing what we just did, they're pretty much in the same place. So they're just 17 auras. And so first you can just comb through them with some gold light. We're going to be using this gold light to repair all the rips. So just comb through, use as much gold light as you can from your hands. The more you unblock your hand chakras, the more they generate. Also, having nice unblocked shoulders and arms helps you generate more quantity of gold light with your hands. But anyway, so lots of gold light for your 17 auras. Just wash them out first. Don't forget the back. Of course, you can spin your copy around. That's one of my, I think that's both of these dogs snoring that you can hear. Okay, so now we will do more repair. We'll use composite copy technique. So you just imagine one rip that represents all the rips in your 17 auras that are healthy and gentle to repair right now. and you're going to repair that one rip and therefore repair all those rips in your 17 auras. Okay, so just imagine the one rip, a composite copy rip that represents all the rips that you need to repair right now. And rips leak energy, right? So because they leak energy, they attract invasive beings potentially, or invasive people, whatever. So that's why we have to clean out this rip a lot first. So we're going to use sticky gold wax to clean it out, which is gold light from your hands that with your intention hardens and sticks to whatever's not you. And then you lift it all out as a chunk. So fill up your composite copy rip with sticky gold wax and have it stick to whatever's not you in this rip. And then lift all that out as a chunk. Give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. So again, you have your composite copy rip and use sticky gold wax and have it stick to whatever's not you in or near this rip, and then have that all be a big chunk of gold wax plus junk, and give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. So now this composite copy rip should be pretty cleaned out, and so you can use the gold light to make really good contact with the rip, and it would start to grow back and heal itself. And you can make another composite, so that was repairing the rips, but you can make another composite copy in case you have some rips that are a little more stubborn and they're not fully repaired yet. So a composite copy rip representing any rips you still have that are good to repair right now. And clean that out with sticky gold wax, fill it up with the wax, lift out the junk. Angels, here you go. Again, sticky gold wax in this remaining composite copy rip. Lift out the wax and the junk. Angels, here you go. And take your time, keep breathing. Keep breathing. All right, so that was aura repair, but we're going to do things that are very related to that now, which is melting away aura scarring and aura bruising. We'll do that all at once. The scarring is the hard bumpiness that may be left over in some places of any of your auras at the surface. And then bruising is similar, but more internal. And it tends to be in those two regular auras that have layers. And so it'll be like a couple layers of bruising in a certain part, just left over from having energy thrown at you. So what we want to do is just put copies of all your aura bruising and scarring in one place, like a big pile of blocked energy, and just melt it away with gold light. Just keep breathing. Let the gold light do the work. So this is melting away your aura scarring and your aura bruising. Because that hard bumpiness, it makes your aura weaker, which is not good. So we want to melt it away with gold light. So again, any remaining aura scarring or aura bruising that you have, just put copies of it all in one big pile and then melt it away with gold light. All right, good. So let's do sticky gold wax. Mostly to get rid of the hard objects that you may still have in stuck somewhere in your auras or stuck in one of your energy centers deeper in your aura. But this sticky gold wax could get rid of, more invasive beings or people or whatever, as well, or energy blocks. But so just sticky gold wax your everything and have it stick, especially to hard objects that were thrown at you that are still there. Sticky gold wax those. But also anything else you want to get rid of, just have the sticky gold wax stick to it. Especially your CV and GV meridian, those can have little hard objects stuck in them. So you can make sure the sticky gold wax gets those. All your tummy meridians, the ones right here along your tummy, sticky gold wax those. Anyway, so we're gonna have this wax when we remove it, stick to the hard objects. So we're removing the hard objects from your space. Okay, so remove all that at once. Angels, here you go. A couple deep breaths into all your major joints, into your shoulders, into your hips. Breathe into your hips, breathe into your knees, your ankles, your toes, your fingers. All right. One more time, sticky gold wax your everything. Okay, have it especially stick to the hard objects in the surface of any of these 17 auras. But then also inside, sticky gold wax everything, all the meridians, all the chakras, major and minor, your grounding. And have the sticky gold wax stick to anything that you want to get rid of and just move it all out at once. Give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. Couple deep breaths. So now we'll just finish the repair. Just in case, when you remove those hard objects, sometimes they leave a gash where they were. So just a little extra repair from the outer surface of all of these 17 auras. Because you don't want any leaks. You don't want to leak energy. And then check your grounding. Make sure it's nice and wide still. And unblock it. All right, so that was finishing the repair. We did sticky gold wax to remove hard objects. Then we finished the repair. And we regrounded for a second. Okay, so now we can do creative ring repair. These are the 4 essentials that we're going through. We just did 2 out of 4 of them. The 4 essentials, they just help you feel your best and are good to review. If you don't feel your best, that's the most efficient way to get feeling better in a thorough, hopefully lasting way. But, so grounding or repair, creative ring repair is what we're about to do, and then we'll do chakra repair. Okay, so creative ring repair. Creative rings are up here, 3 gold rings, 1, 2, 3, above your 7th chakra. They are a part of your astral body energy system, so you as a spirit. So just make copies of your 3 gold creative rings out in front of you. You can make a big copy, a small copy, whatever works for your brain. And just use gold light to repair the creative rings and unblock them, but repairing first, focus on that. For example, you can have cracks, you can have broken, shattered parts. So just check all around all 3 rings, make sure If you're very regular with healing yourself, then most likely it's not that your creative rings would never get damaged. Actually, they can still get damaged with a fair amount of frequency, but they might be more likely to have little cracks in them as the damage versus like totally shattered. But that's really good to look for and take care of. But you know, for example, people that have never gotten creative ring healing, it could be just completely like a disaster area. You know, just completely blown up. But you know, gold light will repair it anyway. If you run gold light through that area, they rebuild themselves. And even a kid can have considerable creative ring damage. Um, with a young kid, it may not be that someone like purposefully threw energy at them. It could be that they were like absorbing some of their parents' stress, and it was a little too much for their physical body, and so it kind of blew some of their chakras up and blew up their creative rings. So it's not necessarily from an energy attack if it's with a little kid, but still, creative ring repair helps. Good for everybody. But yeah, if you have a kid who really can't handle stress, you know, check their creative rings, make sure they're not cracked or shattered. When your creative rings are damaged, it's like everything is just too overwhelming. Same with aura repair. Aura damage. Anyway, so we're doing creative ring repair by having a copy of your three gold creative rings out in front of you and using so much gold light that they repair themselves. And of course, melt cords going into these creative rings from other people, from beings. You can even, you know, generally the beings that are cording your creative rings, they might be far above your head. So you can just, I guess, imagine all the invasive beings that are trying to screw with your creative rings and just say, angels, can you recycle all these beings? Or, you know, if it works better for your brain, just say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings screwing with my creative rings? And the cords, they can be from people or invasive beings. So you can go ahead and melt them all. There's no good reason for someone to cord your creative rings. So the more you heal your creative rings, the more the flaps relax, the more you melt away the cords. So this is a picture top down of the from a like looking down at them kind of perspective of when the flaps are open and irritated because of energy cords going into them. So that's what we don't want, actually. We want it to just look like a ring because the flaps are so close and flush with the ring that you don't really notice the flaps. So just keep healing the rings, 3 rings, especially the top one seems to affect all of them the most, so you can heal all 3 of them directly. And like with Wei Qi auras, this is something that will affect the energy of your home positively if you are safe here with your creative rings. Because if you have a lot of cords and boundary issues with your creative rings, it just, you know, then energy comes in and it's like you have this little tornado in your space, and then you can easily, you know, that tornado can go from your space into your home, and then your home just feels like, you know, not tranquil. All right. So that was creative ring repair and melting the cords. And Unblocking, we could do a little extra unblocking. So that was repair plus, melting cords and relaxing the flaps. So then now we could do creative ring unblocking, a little extra with sticky gold wax, also for the 7th chakra too. So the 7th chakra and the creative rings, they affect each other a lot. So we could just unblock both of them at the same time. So your 7th chakra is in the top of your head. You have 2 of them. You have one for your physical body head and one for your astral body head. But if you're fully present, then the astral one fits right into the physical one. So it looks like, an open cylinder with a round opening at the top and round opening at the bottom. For your 7th chakra, that's oriented that way. The 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 are oriented this way with round opening in the front and the back. But anyway, if you have a healthy beverage, stay hydrated. Okay, so both your 7th chakras, imagine copies of those out in front of you. Astral inside the physical, looks like an open cylinder. And then your 3 creative rings. And just use sticky gold wax and all around, inside, outside, around 7th chakras and your creative rings. And just have them stick to anything that's not you, especially cords, energy blocks, invasive beings, people, blah, 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 blah. And then just remove the wax with all that junk. Give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. One more time, sticky gold wax, the whole thing. Your rings and your creative rings and both 7th chakras. And then move out the wax and the junk all at once. Angels, here you go. It could be that collapsing gold nets works better for you, or just doing both of them is more thorough than just doing one or the other. I'm unblocking the 7th chakra so a little bit extra with gold light. So we can do collapsing gold nets for the creative rings and the 7th chakras. So collapsing gold nets, collapse them in, drag out all the junk, angels, here you go. Collapsing gold nets, again, for your creative rings and your 7th chakras. Collapse them in, drag out the junk, angels, here you go. Also, just like we did after grounding, you may have beings, invasive beings, that were in this area of your 7th chakras and your creative rings, but they're smart enough to move out and go away temporarily. So we don't want those smarty pants invasive beings to come back, right? So just imagine your creative rings, your 7th chakras, and the beings that moved out temporarily. Just say, angels, can you have all these recycled? Okay, so one more time, your 7th chakras and your creative rings and the invasive beings that moved out temporarily but still exist. And just say, angels, can you recycle these invasive beings? Alrighty. So recycle invasive beings that left temporarily. And so hopefully that way you'll have more lasting effects of the healing. That, the clarity that you feel now won't like disappear in an hour when they come back, because you have asked them to be recycled by your angels. All right, so that was creative ring work, repair, etc., unblocking, etc. So now let's do chakra work. Chakra repair and unblocking. And we're definitely going to do major and minor chakras. So your major chakras, you have 2 sets of those, 7 chakras. 7 chakras along your physical body spine, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 7 chakras along your astral body spine. And then you have minor chakras, minor in size, smaller meaning, but very, very, very important in all these energy meridians. All those acupuncture points, those are minor chakras. Those are actual chakras that keep the energy flowing within that meridian properly. Also, you have other minor chakras like this one, chakra 4.5 is right here. There's one right below your first chakra, your Kundalini chakra, which is very important. Helps with good sleep if you can fully turn it off and keep it off for sleep. And helps you to feel a little bit of charisma and pep during the day if you can moderate how much you're using it. But anyway, so we're going to repair and unblock all your major and minor chakras. So basic chakra shape is an open cylinder like this. Cylinder part, round opening, round opening. So just make a composite copy of all that represents all your major and minor chakras, and go ahead and use lots of gold light to repair it. So damage can look like cracks, puncture holes that aren't supposed to be there, chunks missing. So you just use so much gold light that you're cleaning off the chakra and repairing it fully. Sometimes you can have junk in the way, so just lift out the junk. Angels, here you go. Do more repair work. Again, lift out any junk that's in the way. Angels, here you go. And you want to do repair to the extent that's healthy and gentle, and unblocking to the extent that's healthy and gentle. Lift out the junk. Angels, here you go. Lift out the junk. Angels, here you go. And as we're doing this, you're melting away cords going into any of these chakras with gold light. That's sort of a given that when you use so much gold light, the cords melt, but just you can make sure that all the cords melted away. The only cord worth keeping in my mind most of the time is just the first chakra cord. If you have a young child, 13 years or younger, keep a first chakra cord to the child. And you could have baggage that's specific to, that gets in the way of you setting the energy of your home the way you want it to be, and taking care of your home the way you want to, like cleaning, organizing, paying bills for your home, decorating your home, whatever, right? So any home-related baggage, we'll call it, right? So lift out any home-related baggage that you're ready to get rid of from your anywhere in your chakras. Just lift out that home-related baggage. You could blow it up if you're healing yourself. You could hand it to your angels. Angels, here you go. So lift out your home-related baggage from your chakras. Lift it right out. Angels, here you go. Deep breath. Breathe into all your major joints, your shoulders, your arms, your hips, your legs, your knees, your ankles. So again, we're healing and repairing all major and minor chakras using Composite copy. And we're lifting out any home-related baggage. Just lift it out. Angels, here you go. Lift out your home-related baggage. Angels, here you go. Okay, great. So that was chakra repair and unblocking in general and also for the theme. Good job. So that is our 4 essentials that we've done, plus a lot of little modifications, but we did our 4 essentials. So you probably have your, I want to use a bad word, but sometimes moms listen to this around their little kids, so I won't. Anyway, probably you have your act together now. All right. So clearing the energy of the home, like the literal home, let's do that. So you just imagine that the land and the building of your home. And the thing is, okay, homeowners, that's sort of the simplest case where you own the property, you own the building, the whole building, it's just your home, right? That's very straightforward. You heal the whole thing, you clear the whole thing, yada, yada. If you co-own the home with a partner, with somebody else, you know, give them a heads up that you're clearing the energy of the property in the home, and, you know, let them know it'll help both of you, ask them if it's okay, right? But it gets more complicated if you, for example, live in an apartment that you rent and you do not own even the apartment. Then you could just heal the apartment, but you would need to ask permission from, on a spirit level, from the person who owns the apartment, because it's not yours. Basically, you rent it, right? And so there's real hierarchies that exist that are not bad. They really exist. You know, that person really owns the apartment, and so you ask their permission. But most of the time, you know, when you telepath somebody, you're talking to the most evolved part of them, and you can explain their benefits. You know, like the appliances usually last longer, and, you know, everything's safer usually when there's energy cleaned out. You know, so there's a great benefit to the actual owner. So chances are you're going to get a yes if you ask them and explain how it helps the apartment itself. If you own a condo, so you really own that little unit you live in, but you don't own the whole condo building, obviously, or the land, then you only heal that condo building. I'm sorry, you only heal your condo. That's what you have permission to heal. The common areas, the building itself that everyone else lives in, and the property, you don't have the authority to heal all that yourself. You can ask your angels to heal and clear out all the communal areas that you don't own. So I hope that makes sense. If you have questions about any of that permission stuff, you can ask at the end of the healing, or post under the video at any time, and I'll get to it when I have time. I'll post a reply under the video. Okay, so that said, what we just explained, I was just explaining permissions, basically. Permissions and boundaries. Right? So what you can heal and what you do not have spiritual authority to heal. Because, you know, people think, well, you know, healing is always good, so I can heal anything I want, no matter what, and, you know, do whatever I want because I'm this good healer and la, la, la. But it's not true. I mean, people own things, and so if you're not the owner, it's not your place, and so not even the angels would want you to do it. You know, like, for example, my neighbor, you know, she doesn't, anyway, when she brings in a lot of kind of uncentered energy into the property, but I don't heal her property. I ask the angels to heal and clean out her property, and they deal with all the permissions, and they, handle it respectfully and properly. I don't heal her property. She's the owner of her property. So even though her property affects my property, because the beings don't know the property limits, and so they hop from her property to mine, I I do not heal her property. Okay. So imagine, so that was explaining the permissions and the boundaries issues that are very relevant and important. But now we'll do the healing and clearing. So imagine what you can heal and clear, what is yours to heal and clear. So if you're a homeowner, then it's the whole property, the whole building, whatever. I already explained. So imagine what you can heal. And if you need to ask permission, like say you live with a partner or something, and you just need to give them a heads up and say, is it okay if I, heal the place? Go ahead and do that. Just imagine if there's someone that you need to ask permission from or get, a green light from, just go ahead and do that. Just say, hey, is it okay? And then if you got a yes, then keep going, right? So you imagine now I'm going to just give the homeowner example, but remember, if you're the condo owner, do not heal the land, because you don't actually own the land. You just own the condo, and the land is communal. So you have your angels heal the land, not you, right? Okay, but anyway, so you imagine, say you're a homeowner, you imagine the building and the land. And so let's start with a tricolor soak of the whole thing, or whatever of it that you have to heal. So bring up red earth energy, ground the whole thing in red earth energy, and then bring up red earth energy and soak the property, the whole building in red earth energy. Okay, and then go ahead and bring that down, reground the property in orange, a nice big orange grounding for the whole property, the whole building. And or if you're an apartment renter, just your apartment or whatever. I explained it already. And bring up orange earth energy. Soak the whole thing, the whole whatever is yours to heal, soak it all in orange earth energy. And this is separate from you. Like, don't do an orange soak of your own aura right now. Just do the property and the building. So orange earth energy, full soak. All right, bring down the orange earth energy, make a yellow grounding for the property in the building, and soak, bring up that orange earth, and yellow earth energy, and just soak the whole thing in yellow earth energy. And while that's up, if you have other people that you live with, just kind of intuitively check what color soak is best for you and the other people that live there right now. Maybe yellow, maybe red, maybe orange is sort of the best compromise for everybody and the most pleasurable and productive for everybody. And leave it at the color of earth energy soak that works for you and the other people that live, with you, if anybody does. All right, so that was just a tricolor soak, basically, for the property and the building, if you own both. But say if you're an apartment renter, you already got permission from your landlord that you rent from, and so then you did the soak of just your apartment. And you can say, angels, please heal please heal and clean out any communal areas around me that I can't heal. Okay, so that was a tricolor soak. So now let's do like a gold wash of the whole thing, because like sometimes it's just heavy, like there's just this black heaviness everywhere, and that's not cool. right? So you have up your earth energy soak already, that's red or orange or yellow, and just use gold light and just get a sense of if there is like a dark sort of heaviness everywhere or anywhere. Like maybe it's all over the place, or maybe it's just in certain areas, like, you know, certain closets, or, you know, the whole attic or the whole crawl space or basement, the whole garage. But if you're not sure, then just do a lot of gold light through the whole thing, all the property, all the building. And your intention is, if you live with other people, you want to create a shift that is positive, healthy, and gentle for all the inhabitants. You know, so if you live with a partner, you live with a partner and kids, whatever, right? So healthy and gentle for you guys. So not for like your relatives that visit once a year. They're not. That's not your goal right now. You're creating the best environment for you and the other permanent residents. And again, if you're like a condo owner, do not do this with a communal area. Just have the angels do it. So gold light, so much gold light that all the sort of heaviness just melts away or grounds out. Now, there could be some invasive beings that moved out temporarily, just as you were doing that. So just imagine your home and your property, the invasive beings that moved out temporarily, and just say, angels, can you recycle all these invasive beings? Because, you know, that's a cute trick, but don't let it work, right? So just imagine your home, your property, and then all the invasive beings that just moved out but still exist, and then just say, angels, can you recycle all these invasive beings? Of course, if you have any left over in your property or your building, or, you know, any room or any possessions, you can say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings, you know, anywhere in my property? But sometimes angels, you know, they want you to practice being assertive, and so we're going to have other ways of clearing rather than only just asking your angels, like the collapsing gold nets. So do collapsing gold nets, big giant cube that goes through your whole property, even like 40 feet above it, and all the way down to the core of the earth, and just collapse in the nets so that you tangle up all the invasive beings and other people's energy that doesn't belong there. Drag that out, give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. Again, this is you're healing only what you have permission to heal. So if you're an apartment renter, a condo owner, don't heal common areas, and, you know, make sure you get, well, if you're an apartment renter, make sure you get permission first on a spirit level from the property owner, the apartment owner. Okay, so more collapsing gold nets. Collapse them in. Drag out whatever's in the nets. Give them to your angels. Angels, here you go. So now, so that was just, we had the angels recycle beings that left. And then we also just did gold nets. to get rid of invasive beings that are still there. So then, oh yeah, the other people, other residents, let's say. So this is especially relevant for other residents within your living, your home unit. So like, for example, if you rent a condo and you have a roommate in your condo, or you own a house and you have a spouse and a kid. So those are other residents, right? So I explained in the intro how it's pretty important that they be energetically safe, because otherwise weird energy can kind of come through them into the living space and affect everybody. So how do you deal with that? If you're not getting your housemate a healing and everybody who lives there with you a healing right now, and two, on a regular basis, what's something that you can do for them to help them get more energetically safe so that they don't sort of undo the energy safety of the living areas, right? I had said that creative rings are important for energy safety like that. Also, Wei Qi auras are important for safety like that. So that you can be very safe, so that you can also create a living space that's very safe energetically. So what you can do is imagine the other residents that you live with, right? And if you live with other residents. And I think message flowers might be the safest and easiest way to go about it. You just make energy healing flowers that they might need, universal healing energy, whatever universal healing energy is nice for them right now. And, not judgy stuff, right? But you're going to have your angels clean it out anyway. But just think altruistic and kind, But here's the healing energy that they might need out of universal healing energy. And also add on it a message of like, hey, your angels can help you be as safe as possible. And that will in turn help the home too, right? And then just have the angels clean out those message flowers. Make sure they're at the right vibration so that these people kind of are more able to understand what's in the message flowers. And then just imagine a respectful distance in front of your fellow residents and just lay out message flowers for them that the angels have checked. And again, say, angels, can you please check these message flowers? Just to double check. All right. And then you can say hi to your fellow resident or residents and say, these flowers are for you if you want. The angels have checked them. Because, angels work for free and they can heal anyone in their sleep every night. They can give them classes on energy safety that they can take on a subconscious spirit level. So they don't have to be consciously open to, healings from Janet Wright in order to evolve in this area. Okay, so that was message flowers, healing and message flowers for your fellow residents. So the question that some of you have is like, well, can I give those kind of message flowers to all my neighbors that live around me? Like say in my condo building or say in my, on my block of my neighborhood. The angels, from what I'm hearing, and they say in most cases that's a little bit much. It could be a little too triggering and cause too many issues for you. To be directly communicating about, hey, you can get these healings from your angels to all your neighbors. So just for your housemates, like people that you live with in your condo or your apartment or your house, that would be more appropriate and worth it to you. Okay, so that was healing energy flowers for your fellow residents and message flowers for your fellow residents so that they can get more healings from their angels and be energetically safer, So therefore they don't sort of undo the new safety of the living space. And you know, people tend to need reminders, so you can do that kind of thing whenever you want to your fellow residents, for your fellow residents, because the angels will make the flowers positive and approachable and non-threatening for those people. All right, good job. So that was something big as far as effectiveness, but very quick and simple, which I like. I'm gonna look at a sample person to see what's next. Mm. So this one person I'm looking at, they have a lot of like sort of whirlwind kind of energy in their home, and how it got there is they brought it home with them, and then they kind of shed it while they were at home, but it stayed in their living space. So that's pretty common. Like, so you may go somewhere, like say a job or a public place, and there's just some weird energy, and some of it you pick up and some of it you bring home with you, and then maybe you clear it out of your own space, but you forget to clear it out of your home, so it just sort of stays in your home. That's common with like clothing. Sometimes people will leave the junky energy that they have in their space on their clothes, and then you know it sort of piles up, like wherever they put their dirty laundry, in their closet, and then in their laundry room and their washer, and they forget to like clean the energy of the clothing, if there's any weird energy on their clothing. So we can do all that now. So just imagine whatever part that you can clear. So your apartment, if you have permission, your condo, if you're a homeowner, then the building of your home and the property. And just imagine there any junk that you brought home with you, either on your clothes or just with you, and then you sort of dumped it around. And any junk that maybe previous residents have brought home with them. And you can just maybe freeze it all. That might be fun. Freeze it all like a big ice cube, big junky gross ice cube. And then just lift out the big junky gross ice cube and give it to your angels, because they don't mind. Angels, here you go. So just lots of gold light. You can bring up earth energy again, red or orange or yellow earth energy, and just soak everything. And again, just imagine any junk that you brought home with you, people's energy, invasive beings, whatever. Just imagine all the junk that you brought home with you, or other people brought home with them, or previous residents brought home with them and left there, and just freeze it all and lift it all out all at once. Give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. And again, gold light through the whole place, lighten it up, and bring up more earth energy. Just make sure everything's nice and nourished with the earth energy. And if you feel like there's still some leftover stuff, that, you know, junk that people have brought home with them and left there, you could do a different technique, you know, either the other ones like gold nets, you know, and just take the gold nets and collapse them in and have it just catch up all the junk that was dumped there and brought home. Angels, here you go. And like I said, especially because sometimes, you know, most commonly it might be on the clothing that that person wore, and then it just gets deposited wherever they put their dirty laundry, and then wherever they clean their dirty laundry, it just kind of builds up all that weird energy. So just imagine like the clothing areas, even clothing storage of clean clothing, like you know, drawers, dressers, closets, whatever. So the clean clothing storage, the dirty clothing storage, and the dirty clothing washing areas, and just, you know, collapsing gold net all three of those areas. Drag out the junk. Angels, here you go. Again, collapsing gold nets for all clothing areas, clean or dirty, and just collapsing gold nets, get all that junk, give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. So lots of gold light and earth energy for all the clothing storage areas. And then another collapsing gold nuts to get rid of all the junk on the clothing storing areas, and give them to your angels. Angels, here you go. So we cleaned out the clothing storage areas and the clothing itself, but you can do it extra for the clothing. So just imagine all your clothing and the clothing of all the residents. And again, get permission if you haven't, but you know, just ask the fellow residents, is it okay if I wash out your clothing with earth energy and gold light? Because it'll help you. And just see if they say yes. If they say no, just do your own clothing. And then just gold light and earth energy for all the clothing. Lots of gold light. Lots of earth energy. And gold net all the clothing. Collapse up the gold nets, get rid of all the junk. Angels, here you go. More gold nets for all the clothing. Collapse it up. Angels, here you go. All right, just take a deep breath. Breathe into your body, wiggle your toes, stay here. All right, so that was, first we did junk you bring home, we cleared that out, and junk other people bring home, all that good stuff. And then we did clothing storage areas and clothing. Clothing, all clothing areas. Clothing storage areas, clothing washing areas, dirty clothing areas, blah, blah, blah. So clothing areas and also clothing. We cleaned out clothing just because clothing can, people tend to, when they take off their clothing, they leave the junk on the clothing as a way of energy clearing, which is not super helpful because then you have a really gross closet or something. All right, great. So now we'll do so you may have baggage around doing things like taking action, washing dishes, you know, preparing for your work, maybe that you do at home. Preparing for dinner, feeding other people, taking care of other people, getting to bed on time, any kind of doing stuff, you know, whether you are on social media or not, you know, all these actions that you take at home. Sometimes you may have, it's easy to get baggage about, you know, maybe there are things you felt that you shouldn't have done, or that you do too much, or you don't do enough, you didn't do on time, blah, blah, whatever, right? So I'm going to call all that doing baggage. And that doing baggage can actually weigh down the energy of your actual home. So then it's really nice to go on a vacation because you're like, oh my God, this feels so great. It's just so liberating to not be there. But then you come back home and all your doing baggage gets triggered again. And, you know, you're sort of back in the same pattern. So we're going to clear out your doing baggage that you have within yourself, and also your doing baggage that you've just sort of deposited on your home or your property, and it's sort of degrading and lowering the energy of the home itself. Okay, so we're going to clear out doing baggage from inside of you, but also from your home itself, so that it's not such a chore to take action in your own home. So if that makes sense. So that was doing baggage, explaining how we're going to clear it from you and your home. And then now we'll do doing baggage doing. We'll actually clear the doing baggage. Okay, so you may have so much doing back, you know, I don't know that we've done it in a twin set yet because it's new, but so for those of you that only do twin set videos and not triple set videos, we did this technique. I think it was introduced just in the last set, called a safe bomb exploding chamber. And so it's just a way to clear baggage, but you can have Deb's deep energy blocks that you've shoved back in the back of your aura. So it's like repressed energy blocks. And then you can have ones that are interconnected to a lot of other Debs. And so that is the kind of thing that may kind of zone you out. You know, like say if you do comfort eating and you just zone out and like you just ate a whole bunch of stuff and you're like, oh my God, I couldn't even stop myself. Or like say you binge watch, you know, some Netflix shows or something more than you want to, and you just feel like you can't stop. You know, that sometimes that's because you have too many Debs triggered. And so you're just like, I can't do it. And so you lose that extra mindfulness and sort of heart self-valuing. And so then you may do something that's a little compulsive, right? So so the safe bomb exploding chamber allows you, it's sort of like it's a play on like in the movies, if they have like, you know, the bomb squad shows up and then they, you know, they get the bomb off the person, but then they have to explode it because it's going to explode anyway. So they put it in this little area that's protected and then they explode the bomb, or the bomb explodes anyway. But it's safe. It's in that little area, so it doesn't hurt anybody, right? So we make a bomb exploding chamber out of gold light and gold panels, and and you can make a little viewing window so you could see, but it's safe, you know? And then you can put all these interconnected Debs that you have, shove them in the safe bomb exploding chamber, seal it all up, have your angels seal it up, and then you explode it, and it explodes in there, but you don't feel any of it because it's in the safe bomb exploding chamber, right? So we can do that, all this doing baggage that you have, because it may be a lot of deep interconnected stuff, like, you know, related to your binge watching of shows, or your binge eating, or you know, compulsively being on the internet, or compulsively thinking about a breakup that you had, or, you know, whatever, like kind of compulsive stuff that you have, or just doing baggage that you have that's a little intense. You know, we could clear more of it in a more fun, easy way with the safe bomb exploding chamber. So that was explaining. It's another explaining safe bomb exploding chamber. All right, so now we're going to finally do, after all that. So we're going to use a safe bomb exploding chamber to explode your doing baggage, okay? That's within you first. Right, so make your safe bomb exploding chamber, lots of gold walls, so it's out in front of you. And if you want, make a little viewing window so you can see the explosion, but it doesn't explode on you, so you don't feel any of it, right? And then just put in it all your doing baggage, from, you know, maybe deep repressed doing baggage, or stuff in the front too. Just put any, you know, as much as is good to explode at once, but there could be a lot that you could do at once. So just load up your safe bomb exploding chamber with all your doing baggage. And you can have angels check. Angels, is this too much to do at once? And if they say, no, you can do more, just keep loading more, you know, doing baggage into your safe bomb exploding chamber. And then just use your remote control and blow it up. And it was in the chamber, so nothing got hurt, right? You feel it all. And so just lots of gold light, make sure everything in the chamber is fully destroyed. And you can say, angels, can you make sure it's all fully destroyed? Okay, so let's do that again. You have your safe bomb exploding chamber, and load it up with all your doing baggage from the front or the back of your aura, wherever it is in your chakras. All your doing baggage that affects how you act in your home, how you feel in your home. And just load it all up, and have your angels double check your bomb exploding chamber, make sure it's nice and safe, and then just use your remote control and explode it. You know, so it all blows up. It's all destroyed, and make sure it's destroyed with lots of gold light. Have your angels double check. Angels, please make sure this is all destroyed. All right, good job. So that was exploding your own doing baggage that you have within you that affects how you act and feel in your own home. Okay, so then now you may have like doing baggage that you've left in parts of the house. Like, one of the kids I'm looking at, they don't like getting ready for dinner or getting ready for bed. So they have some of their doing baggage like in the bathroom because they don't want to brush their teeth, you know? So you can just imagine everybody's doing baggage that was deposited around the house. Just imagine it as like, rocks that you can see, make it really visible and easy. And then just, you can lift up, with your intention, lift up all the doing baggage from everybody. I say, angels, is it okay to clear all this? And then just run gold light through it all. Because you're getting rid of the baggage that was sitting in the bathroom around the sink, or sitting in, the kitchen around the dishes, or, something like that. So you're not giving a group healing to the people in your house all at once. No, because one-on-one healing is a certain safety level. So if you were to heal a housemate, that's one level of safety, but it's too risky. I mean, it's at like a uber pro level to heal multiple people at once. So we're not going there. I mean, I'm going there, but you're not going there unless, whatever. So again, there's doing baggage that you and other people have left around the house. Maybe someone doesn't like folding their laundry, so they've left some doing baggage around the where the laundry machine is. So just imagine everybody's doing baggage and just raise it up so you can see it all at once, and then just run gold light through it so that it all melts. And you can say, angels, help me clear this. So you're clearing the doing baggage out of the physical home and the property, actually, too. Beware of the property itself. So include like a garage, a shed, maybe part of the property, like say if someone doesn't like to mow, they maybe left it in the yard, whatever. So the whole property that is yours, if you have property that's yours. If you own a condo or you rent an apartment, you do not have outside property that's just yours. So ask the angels to heal those areas. But assuming you own property, if you do, just imagine any doing baggage on the property, imagine it like rocks if you want, or some other way, and just lift all that up at once and melt it with gold light. Abel, take it easy. Abel, take it easy. I'm going to talk to my dog for a sec. Hold on. Hey, bro. Shush, shush, shush. Take it easy. No, calm down. Take it easy, buddy. You will not be good. All right, good. So that was clearing doing baggage out of, well, first we used the safe bomb exploding chamber to clear baggage out of you, but then we just lifted it out of the property and melted it with gold light. So now we'll do boundaries. Property boundaries, or, if you own a condo or you rent an apartment, boundaries just for the apartment or boundaries just for the condo. But kind of like, when you have a gold buffer zone for your aura, 2 gold buffer zones actually, one for physical, one for astral body auras. You can have a gold boundary for your property, or your condo, whatever, right? So if you're a homeowner, then you can have, big walls of gold light within your property, but right at the boundary. And that can help to, like say if your neighbor is prone to dumping energy all around, just sort of like human explosion type dumping. Which, you know, some people are because they just get so stressed and, you know, they've never gotten a healing. So they're just kind of, you know, flipping out. So they may do that sort of human explosion thing. But if you have big gold walls, you know, they're flowing, but they're big and thick of gold. And have the angels bless them and clear them so it's not, there's no negativity in those walls. That's really important. Because a lot of people, when they make boundary walls like that, they put their fear in them, like, keep out, no thieves here, no, you know, don't poop in my yard. Or, you know, there's like some sort of a negative and some sort of a, you know, anger with it, or fear, which you don't want. That's going to attract not cool stuff, right? So just positive gold light, that's it, right? Universal gold light walls. And so like if you own an apartment, well, if you rent an apartment and you get permission from the owner to do that, then that's nice, you know, like it's just for that apartment, but you know, it's like nice big gold walls within the boundaries of the apartment. So it's within the apartment, it's not in the other person's apartment, but it's, you know, like right at that edge, like a nice big wide gold, universal gold, bunch of flowy walls, right? So go ahead and imagine the limit, the outer limit of your, what you're allowed to heal, you know, so if you're a homeowner, then the property itself, the property boundary lines, and just make a nice big gold, universal gold wall all around the outer perimeter. And you can say, angels, please clean this out, please check it so that it's, you know, really positive and gold and, you know, the way it needs to be. So it's not your energy, there's no negativity or fear or anger or anything. It's just a lot, nice, thick, wide gold wall, boundary wall at the edge of your property. And again, just say one more time, just for good luck, you know, angels, please double check this. Make sure, clean it out, make sure it's really nice and, you know, the way it should be. And so they'll clean out if you accidentally put some of your energy in it rather than universal gold light. They'll clean out if, you know, there's accidentally some of your fear or whatever in there. They'll just clean all that out. So it's just nice, flowy gold boundary walls within the outer edge of your property or the space that you're healing. So gold boundary walls, gold flowing boundary walls. All right, good job. And of course you can check those whenever you want. You know, sometimes they may get, you know, exploded or ripped or something. And, you know, try not to take it so personally. You know, people, you know, like I have a neighbor that, you know, rips my boundary wall a lot, but, you know, she's just kind of she's handling a lot, you know, so it doesn't, you know, try not to take it as like a personal offense that then now you resent that person and blah, blah, blah. You know, if people don't meditate, they're not very centered or present, then they don't exactly know why they resent certain people, or, you know, it's not conscious even a lot of times, and they're just throwing around a lot of energy at a lot of people. So, you know, just keep it positive, check your boundary walls. You can recreate them whenever you want. And of course, have your angels check them so they're nice and positive and they're within the space that you are allowed to heal. So I hope that makes sense. I'm going to look at a sample person, so I'm going to be quiet for a second while I do that. Okay, so there's such a thing as, I call it like a flyby, where like you can be visited by somebody on a spirit level, but they're not there physically. So, and there can be ones that are beautiful and great and fun, like, say, one of your friends who's now in heaven, maybe you've given them permission to drop by whenever, like I have this past life mom, and she's like the sweetest, nicest spirit ever. She was my mom in like a recent past life, and she's cleared to come to my living space whenever she wants, because she's like so nice and wonderful. And people in heaven are already pretty respectful anyway, but so that's an example of maybe a flyby that's totally cool, right? But there are flybys that are maybe not so cool for you, like and you can regulate your property so that's not allowed. But you can have flybys from a relative that you don't get along with, who just shows up and criticizes everything and leaves, just on a spirit level, like they didn't show up physically, right? Or you can have flybys by invasive beings that just randomly mess with people, and so you can set the energy of your gold boundaries that you made, so that those flybys are not allowed. So just with your intention, just say, okay, well, only my heaven friends have flyby permission, you know. And heaven friends, you would say with your, for you, if for you, heaven friends mean the people that literally you're friends with that are in heaven now, and they're angel approved, So angel approved heaven friends, of course, they can show up and say hi and joke around with you on a spirit level. But, nobody else, right? So only heaven friends get flyby permission, nobody else. And just, have that as your intention with your gold boundary walls. So there's no invasive being flybys allowed. There's no, relative flybys allowed. So it doesn't mean people can't communicate with you on a spirit level, but they can't have a lot of their energy just sort of show up in the living space. They have to stay where they are and then just use telepathy. They could cord you invasively, but that's obviously you don't want that either. But there's a way that a flyby is where they literally like bring a bunch of their energy and they just stand in your kitchen, or they're in your yard or somewhere, or like the most common example of that is like grandmothers, that get like, say a client of mine will have some young kids, and then her mother or her mother-in-law are very into the kids and kind of fixated on them, and wants to always have flyby permission and show up, on a spirit level. But the invasive grandmother is like courting the kids and waking them up during their nap time and everything, So you can disallow relative flybys, and just have the gold light and just be positive about it and just be like, no, we're not doing that, And then just reset it and just have your angels help you with that, and just say, angels help me, so that those, flybys are not allowed, only from, respectful heaven friends with angel approval. Cool. So again, that's sort of set. And, if you do your gold boundaries, which we did immediately before this, it's sort of easier to, have it as an intention with the gold boundaries around your living space. So that's no flybys, except for your heaven friends. Yeah, I think this is a good place to stop. So what we'll do is we'll just check your space. Go ahead and check your space and check for your grounding. You can redo your gold buffer zones. I didn't say that out loud, so redo your gold buffer zones. There'll be a reference video down in the comment section in the healing summary. There'll be a reference video for gold buffer zones. They help protect the auras, 2 of the auras. So yeah, let's just check your creative rings, calm them down if you have any cords going into those. about that. Check your chakras, relax those, have those flowing, but the flaps closed on your chakras as well. Do a little magnetic alignment for your chakras, which you think about the gold magnetic fields that are around each chakra, and just bring gold light through the magnetic fields so that they center. So that the magnetic field around all your major chakras along your spine sync up together, the magnetic fields, so that they're nice and centered. Even for the lower chakras, 3, 2, and 1. So that was just a little bit of relaxing your creative rings, and then magnetic alignment, a little bit of grounding, unblocking. We can do stebs. So that was a little bit of creative ring flaps and magnetic alignment. So for stebs, you could do it with the safe bomb exploding chamber. Just put all your stebs in there. Yeah, why not? Put all your stebs in your any stubborn triggered energy blocks that are triggered, kind of making you feel antsy or uncomfortable or weird. Just put any triggered energy blocks, anything else you want to clear, any baggage about being in your home, being around your home, being productive in your home, all that good stuff, sleeping well in your home. Just dump all that into your safe bomb exploding chamber and say, angels, is this ready? And then just go ahead and blow it up. Okay, one more time, load up all your stebs, all your baggage about being in your home, sleeping in your home, taking care of your home. Load it all in your safe bomb exploding chamber, and then have your angels check it, angel space check, and then go ahead and blow it up. And just double check that it's all fully destroyed. Say, angels, is this all fully destroyed? And then you can blow that up too, blow up your little chamber if you want. All right, so just say, angels, can you please give me a healing? Angels, can you please clear out my home? All right, good job. That was a healing. Good job. Woo, woo. All right, we're done with the healing. So I'm going to have a little chit chat time now. I'll set my timer for maybe 14 minutes or so. So if you have a follow-up question about this theme, if you have a comment about how this healing was for you, that could be interesting if you want to post that now live. You can always post a question, by the way, at any time under any video, and I'll get to it when I can. All right, so I'm going to read some of these comments. And if I don't get a chance to get to your comment in time, just repost it under the video later. Someone says, hi Janet, I'm healing myself today. I have a bad headache, yes. And doing the 4 essentials alongside you didn't work to heal it. Any thoughts? So headache, you want to think of like damage, things that are smashed can cause a headache, because headache is kind of extreme, right? So check all your auras. All your auras seem fine around your head. So then check meridians within your head, all those energy meridians within your head. So, because you're going to be looking for something ripped, something smashed, hard objects stuck in there, blocking the repair, things like that. So you can also check the major chakras, of course, in the head, so 6th and 7th chakras. So even just with that, I'm noticing like hard objects stuck in both your 6th and 7th chakras, like significant sized hard objects, like someone just threw some butcher knives at your 6th and 7th chakras. So you want to take the butcher knives out, and then the repair works better. So that's why I feel, that's why it's good to get used to using your hands too. It's just because like sometimes you're like, that's weird. What? There's like, I feel like I can't just go around the rim of it. I feel like there's something weird there, and that's because the butcher knife is just like stuck there. So maybe feeling with your hands doesn't yield any knowledge yet, but you can get better and better at feeling with your hands, and then you can be like, oh wow, what the heck is that? There's something there, So anyway, get rid of the butcher blocks in your 6th and your 7th chakras, the butcher knives, the big hard blades stuck in your chakras. Your GB is okay. It gets your GB meridian, the one that goes up the back and hooks around the head. It just gets really thin by your, as it goes around your head. Like it's nice and red going up your back, but then it sort of gets really narrow as it goes around your head. So it seems like there's a couple beings that are just kind of stuck to it, to your GB meridian. So it can't expand. So just do maybe sticky gold wax or something, peel those beings off your GB meridian so that then you can heal up the leaks better and repair them properly, and so the whole GB meridian can stay nice and wide and flowing around your head. And same thing for the UB meridian. It goes like a branch, UB for urinary bladder meridian, that it goes the opposite direction, but the same idea, like around your head like that. And so the one side of one of the 2 branches of your UB meridian, as it goes here, is it's kind of smashed up. So yeah, so first 6th and 7th chakras, then GB meridian, then UB meridian. There's like another one right around here, but I think if you get GB and UB, that'll probably be good enough. So UB meridian, you can look in that, the 12, if you want. I mean, you don't really have to look at the video for it. It just starts in the corner of the eye, and then goes to the inner eyebrow, and then goes up and over, and then it just goes straight like that. So it's like GB and then UB on either side, and you just don't want them smashed, and you want them to be like nice wide flowing tubes. So yeah, there's that. Someone says, thanks so much, Jan. I feel really good, very relaxed. I started a new job 2 weeks ago, and it's been very intense, but I'm learning a lot. Well, that's nice. Anything I can work to feel more calm and centered. I've been pretty overwhelmed, and I've been working creative writings a lot. Yeah, it seems like you're in 7 through 2 lately, which is odd for you, because usually you're in all your chakras. It seems like in the front of your first chakra and your Kundalini chakra, there's some hard objects that you're not getting rid of. So it's sort of like, it reminds you of like a chair that you're not sitting on fully. You're just sort of like on one side of it. So, look at the front of your first chakra and the front of your Kundalini chakra. There should be 2 big round openings. The first chakra is like about twice as big as the Kundalini chakra, but it seems like one side of the front of both those chakras is like packed with hard objects and kind of damaged too. So get rid of the hard objects, heal up the damage, keep working it. So, because you want the front surface of, any surface of the chakra to be like so healed so that it's like flowy water. So you can tap the center of it and you'll just see the ripples out in that surface of the chakra itself. So like the front surface of your first chakra, you should just be able to tap it and have this red water just rippling out, in the front surface of your first chakra. But if you have damage or hard scabby areas, then it messes with the rippling. And so that's kind of your clue to, heal more there and get rid of the hard objects and repair it more. So I hope that helps. Someone says, thanks for the house healing. You are welcome. It's been through a lot of stuff, so I sage it periodically. Are you able to tell if certain areas of it still need attention? Yeah, I mean, there's always more room for improvement, for sure. Yeah. Um, Front door and back door, like any doors, entrance and exits from your home. You could do more there. You could just, I mean, you can sage them. Saging is basically, it's it's like how much of it is you and how much of it is the sage. Like if you just did gold light there, it might be as powerful, but saging can be very powerful. Part of that is because people have used sage in past lives too. So it kind of like, you know, rallies your eternal self to like really add that extra oomph to it. So you don't have to use sage, but it's not that saging couldn't be really powerful. But that's part of why. It's just that it's like, that it's something that you've done in other lifetimes, and so it just like wakes you up to what you're doing. So, but anyway, yeah, the entrances and exits, and something about like the kitchen storage areas, like dishes, where dishes and stuff are. Any kitchen storage stuff. Yeah, any kitchen storage areas you could do extra. And the gold property boundaries seems like half the property boundaries are really nice and gold, and then half the other, there's a lot of junk around that part of the property boundaries. So you could just keep clearing out energy around the property boundaries, within the boundary, but around. Someone says, thank you for healing my kiddos, myself, and our home. Yes. And you're mentioning your son's names, and they are calm and being sweet. That's nice. Glad the healing helped. One of them said, Mom, you are beautiful. That's great. I had a good combo with my husband. We cleaned the house during the healing. Oh, wow. Go, go. How did we do? I also asked my husband's angels if he could get the healing too. Yeah, which is fine, of course. Meaning that your husband's angels healed your husband, not me, which is great. That's fine. Well, your angels just mentioned that sometimes you get a little bit discouraged because there are projects that you want to do around the house and you sort of interconnect them all. So if you can't do them all today, you kind of, there's like a little bit of inner child like discouragement about that. So maybe just give your heart chakra healing flowers about incremental growth and how, validate yourself for the progress that you've made, but that, like the whole like Rome wasn't built in a day idea, that, you can just keep making more progress, and it's okay that they say you need sort of comfort at a heart chakra level for what you can't do today. That, sometimes that's not, that you get a little blocked about that you can't do it all today and now. Someone says, could we use the techniques of freezing energy or gold nets for energy of upsetting events in particular areas in the home? Yes. For energy of upsetting events in particular areas of the home. I'm assuming you're talking about fights. Or, but yeah, if there's any, I mean, if there's energy in that part of the home still, then yeah, you can do all sorts of things to clear it out. But sometimes it's not in that room anymore, but sometimes it is. So you could, any of the techniques we did would be nice. Tricolor soaks, gold light, yeah. Gold nets and all that is more for like, well, it's all good. Yeah, yeah. Someone says, hi, Janet. I have cleared some relationship baggage with my spouse. You mentioned his name, thank you. and have been inspired to redecorate. Do the angels or yourself have any advice regarding the home or our relationship? Thank you. I mean, it seems like you've shown your spouse the energy of what you want to do with the redecorating, and he seems to be in favor of it, which obviously is important since you both live there. um, um, your angels suggest park bench communicating with your spouse, like practice that. So you can just imagine that. You've probably watched my park bench videos. I have two for people that don't know. If you search Janet Wright, park bench communicating or park bench communication, there are two videos about it. But you could just imagine, like talking with your spouse on a park bench. Because that's when you guys get along better, is when there's that communication style. So, yeah, that's what your angels are reminding me to remind you about. Also, that you guys, while you're on the park bench, you can practice healing flowers. Like, just make healing flowers for the other person, have the angels check them and put them in front of that person, at a respectful distance as they're sitting on the bench. So, because it seems like, and you can have him do the same with you, so just like take turns, just imagine and take your time and have him, make flowers for you and have the angels check them and then you receive them. Because it looks like sometimes when you guys get pissed at each other, he can't receive your flowers and you can't receive his flowers. And so just practicing receiving from each other could also be a good strengthening thing. My timer went off, which means I need to hurry up. Someone says, hi, Janet. Thank you so much. We watched while you healed. You healed my son, yes, for the first time today. How did he do? I thought about him. I watched him a couple times. He did fine. He did fine. I forget the part that I was especially watching him on. I think the chakra unblocking. I was especially watching him on. But yeah, his angels gave me a thumbs up. He did well. I want to look at his name for a sec. I put my sheets away. I shouldn't have. Yeah, he's in 7 through 3 now. He's processing a lot. I think these healings are big, but it's nice. He has another one in 2 days. So, but yeah, he's clearing a lot. So yeah, he seems. I mean, for that being his first time that I healed him, he's clearing a lot right now. So he looks good. Someone says, how did my parents do? Their house is very heavy energetically and they are pack rats. Thanks. Yeah, they both got the healing. They have this funny way of blaming it on each other, like why their house is not, lighter and more flowing and everything. But I think the clearing the doing baggage helped. And their house does look lighter and more flowing. It's, obviously it takes time to really get the deep things about, but the fact that we use the safe bomb exploding chambers for the debs, for the doing baggage, I think was necessary and worked out well for them. So yeah, cool. Someone says, hi Janet, thanks for the healing. Funeral for my dad is tomorrow. I have the next few days off to recover. I kind of expect that there will be a lot of dumping and maybe wax. Any tips to prepare? Oh, we didn't do it in this healing, actually. We'll do it on Tuesday, I'll make sure. But unmatched family pain would be genius for you to do, actually. So, you could just do it yourself. It's just all your baggage that matches family baggage, and just, clear the healthy, gentle amount of it, just so that you're not matching the group pain. And you can do like park bench communication with people, because that's pretty acceptable in a funeral. Like just imagine sort of, as you talk to someone, like no like eyeball to eyeball stuff, just like park bench it with them, like look at something that's near the both of you as you talk to somebody, and just, let people have their process, because some people will be totally tuned out, some people will be, huggy, whatever, everybody's going to be different. And yeah, your angels just keep mentioning park bench it. They don't think that it has to be a whack fest if you park bench stuff. Sometimes, and calm down your fifth chakra so that you're not like group telepathing by accident about anything. Like, this family needs to get over, blah, blah, blah. Just lots of gold light for your throat chakra so that your thoughts are just peaceful within yourself. So you don't like over trigger the group with any sort of broadcast telepathy about what's wrong with this family. So yeah, park bench and throat chakra healing so that you don't accidentally telepath everybody. Someone says, I've started making a long humming tone when healing myself. What's that about? It looks like a being in your fifth layer in the back that's hooked into your throat chakra. Is it just a reaction, or is it helpful, or something I should encourage? Yeah, it doesn't look like it's you. I wouldn't encourage it. Yeah, I would recycle the being that's encouraging that. There are things that are body related that your angels are in favor of, like, like the, like massage, some part of your hand while you're doing healing on and off, or wiggle your toes, or stretch, or give yourself little shoulder massages, or have your healthy beverage. So body engagement, there can be many ways that that's positive. It just so happens that humming looks like there's just some being making you do that, and it's not really your choice to do it. It's some sort of a compulsive thing that's related to an invasive being. So that in that way, it's not a good idea. Someone says, thanks so much for healing, and you're mentioning the people. You are welcome. And they did well. One of them was actually a sample person. One of your friends was a sample person for the no flybys, because like her parents keep showing up in certain parts of her house. So yeah. There's that. Someone says, thanks, you're welcome. Someone says, I was tired this morning, but I feel lighter already. Oh, that's nice. I'm glad you like the healing. How did my dad and homeowner do? Yes, the people you got healings from. They liked it. The homeowner actually, he was a sample person a couple times. Because there are other people living there too. Because he's like, well, I got this healing, but what about them? So it was, he liked it. Your dad, look at his name. Yeah. He was surprised about the clothing areas and the clothing storage areas. Like, that didn't occur to him. And that was kind of a thing. Like, he says he had like decades of old energy on his clothing that he had no idea about. So he says he's going to keep working on that with his angels. He didn't know energy could be left on clothing. That is, burdensome, like energy blocks and stuff. Someone says, hi Janet, you healed my brother. Yes, for the first time today. How did it go? Thank you. Yes. Um, You know, the thing that helped him the most was that whole, we did it like about 3 times where we had the beings that left you temporarily during the healing, we had them recycled. That actually helped him the most because since he'd never gotten a healing before, he had a lot of junk around, beings around him. But then when he was getting the healing, they kind of moved out. They're like, what the hell? And then so we specifically kept getting those recycled. So then hopefully the healing will have a more lasting effect for him. But he needed a lot of repair. So that actually the most important thing for him was all the chakra repair we did, major and minor chakras, and creative ring repair. Those were the most consequential things. Was just the stuff right at the start. You know, the chakra repair, creative ring repair, or repair too. Um, as far as the home stuff, I mean, he sort of shows me it's very eye opening. Like he didn't really ever, it didn't occur to him, this stuff. So he seems to be excited about the next one too, the Tuesday one. So he did well. Someone says, thank you so much, Janet. You healed me and I healed myself. I feel so much lighter and clearer after. Oh, good. Especially in my mind. It's amazing. My dogs were antsy before and now they're calm. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, sometimes you know, if energy builds up in a home, then it flips out the animals a little bit. So I'm glad it all helped. Someone says, thank you, Janet. Loving your videos and I connect with your energy very easily. Hugs from Colorado. Yeah, so literally what I'm very literal, so I just want to be clear for those who don't understand. You're not actually connecting to my energy, meaning courting me. There's no like literal connection from your energy to my energy. You're just meaning that, you know, like mentally these things make sense. Like the way I'm saying something makes sense to you. So I just want to be clear about that because I don't want anyone connecting to me and I know that that's not what you mean. So cool, I'm glad. Yeah, right now you're in 7 through 2, meaning you're present in physical body chakra 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. So that is pretty present. I think you've been missing a little bit of damage to the back of chakras 3, 2, and 1. Which is why I think maybe if you were to repair that, then you might actually be in all your chakras more of the time. So I would just redo chakra repair and just keep checking the back of 3, 2, and 1 because I think there's some hard objects there too. So you could do like sticky gold wax to like lift out all the hard objects a couple times and then do repair and then sticky gold wax again and do more repair of all the chakras, but because 3, 2, 1, there's just some damage there that's not repairing yet. But you can do it. Someone says, my landlord texted me while I was doing the healing. I'm presuming that you're saying, I haven't seen the rest of it, but yeah, that's funny. Well, I hope it was something positive that they texted. But it does look that you got permission to do it before you did it, so that's cool. Someone says, hi, Janet, thank you. I telepath who comes to my home and our rental buildings to work with angels and follow my energy rules, but I always find energy blocks and beings that sprung in. Do I need to update the rules? No. No, I think the intention that you have and the intention at your rental buildings and the intention in your own home is fine. I think it's just, intention is one thing and then reality is another. And so sometimes, like you have angels clean out people that come into a rental building, but for example, someone might have a little too much damage in their energy system, and so some stuff gets in while they're in the building versus when they come in the building. So yeah, I think it's just not everybody living in those buildings is open to getting all the healings all the time that you suggest, and you can't force people, that's like a little too weird. So, just keep doing the regular cleanouts that you're doing. just try to be more time efficient with it so that doesn't feel like a burden to you personally. Um, yeah. Someone says, thanks for the healing. My advice, any advice for me regarding aura pairs and the home. And you did get the healing. Aura pairs and the home. Yeah, aura repairs. There are some Wei Chi auras of yours that are a little stubborn, that are not fully healed. Um, if you imagine this area of your space, so like from lower back upward, this area, like that area. There are some Wei Chi auras, like maybe 5 or 6 out of the 15, that are not fully healing. So just, I would say, imagine like big gold flamethrowers and just, just get the gold like really deep in there and just keep working that, so that the back and upper back of your Wei Chi auras, all of them, get fully repaired. I mean, they're better than they were, but that is something you could work on your own in between this healing and the next healing. That would be good practice and helpful for you. Layers 2 and 1 are much more compressed than the others. If you imagine the width of 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Before the healing, layers 4, 3, 2, 1 were too compressed. So now only layers 2 and 1 are too compressed. So if you did want to work on that a little more, there's a video, Get Present in Second and First Chakras. So if you search Janet Wright, Get Present, then number 2 and a space, and then number 1. So Janet Wright, Get Present 2, 1. That'll get you a video that specifically works on unblocking the first and second layers and the first and second chakras. So that could be, if you have some motivation between now and the Tuesday healing, or even after that, that could be nice. So a little bit more Wei Chi aura repair back here with some gold fire, gold water, whatever works for you, and then that video, Get Present in Second and First Chakras, could be nice. But you were rocking it. Everything you did, you were clearing stuff. So yeah, you it all worked. You were following along and doing it. So looks good. Someone says, thanks Janet, about first chakra Kundalini chakra damage. I've definitely not felt present in my first, but couldn't figure out why. Yeah, it wasn't repairing properly because there were hard objects stuck in the front of it. So this is, hi, thanks Janet. I had a fight yesterday and this morning with my husband over parenting power struggles. Any suggestions? Yeah, I think if you just take a step back and work some, clear some debs and some, some heal some inner wounds, clear some debs around what gets triggered when your husband makes parenting decisions about his offspring that are not your offspring, right? Because you have kind of an issue with, it's like you're mixing up inner baggage that you have about past lives, about what parents have done to you, what parents haven't done to you, what spouses have done to you, what spouses haven't done to you. There's a lot of old baggage that's clouding and making you a little more rigid, and like making you sort of be like, no, it has to be this way, stop this has to be this way, like it's very, there are core issues, there are deeper baggage at play, like your past life baggage. It's not really about what he's doing or not doing with his kid. It's inner stuff of yours from past lives. It's not that you're imagining feeling hurt and wounded and this and that. It's just that it's old stuff that has nothing to do with him. And so you can deal with it on your own with your healing and clearing. And then that way you can really not care what he does. I mean, you know, you care, but it doesn't wound you, you know, like that. It's just like you're much more easygoing about it. All right. So it says, thank you for the healing. After the healing, I feel, oops, pushed send. I feel like my home is cleaner than I was feeling it was. I hope this helps my husband because he keeps everything. Yeah, 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 we'll see. We will see. Um, so it says, thanks, Janet. Definitely need to hear that advice. You're welcome. All right, guys, you're awesome. And I enjoyed this live stream. I hope you did too. And there will be another live stream in 2 days on Tuesday, September 20th on the same theme. And again, if you got this healing from me, keep an eye out for my email, which will be late today, which will have the survey link that you can fill out tomorrow on Monday. Because there'll be a custom question there where you can, you know, put stuff, write stuff down, and also just in general, your feedback helps as I plan the next healing. Okay, I'll let you see my whiny dogs as I get them out. Alrighty, so you're awesome. Here come my dogs. I know, I know. Alrighty, well, that's everybody. That's Daisy right there. That's Abel right there with the cone on his head, and Izzy's already trying to get us outside. That's Izzy right there. Alright guys, you're awesome. Take care. And I hope you're enjoying these last final days of summer.